It's payday, fellas! I said it's fucking payday, motherfucker!
Hey everyone, what's going on? My name's Archer Live, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the brand new update for Payday 2 on Xbox One and PS4 that is dropping tomorrow, that's June 6, 2018, as well as what it contains, some things that aren't mentioned that could possibly be featured, and anything else mentioned in the latest Steam post from Goris. Before we get into this, just want to quickly apologise to Switch players because I did promise a video was more likely to come this week regarding the status of the Switch version of Payday 2. Unfortunately, as you might expect, that video is not going to be coming this week now. However, what I will say is I've done some preliminary research regarding the whole Switch version of Payday 2, as well as what DLC might be coming out and when, and honestly, I can't really find anything. I'm looking more, there are some other areas of the Steam forums I've not looked into yet, so I haven't checked everything. But what I've found so far is that there isn't really a lot of knowledge as to what's going on with Switch, whether it's even being supported at all, which I imagine it is. I imagine there is DLC coming for it, but there's no word as to what comes next and, you know, what's the situation is. So I'll make some predictions and find some more information. Hopefully that video will come out next week, but I apologise to all of you who are expecting a video this week. I do sincerely apologise, but as most of you will imagine, as most of you will feel the same, I did not expect this DLC update to come this week. I honestly did not think there was going to be anything that was video worthy from Goris, but here we are. We got a new video and I'm putting out a day early because it's that important. Now, to start off with, as always for these news videos, we're going to be breaking down Goris' Steam post, talking about all the different key points in it, and then also opening up some discussions on the points that are discussion worthy, and then leaving it to you guys in the comments to give your thoughts and opinions on what I say and what Goris has said in this video. So let's start off by reading his post, which reads, "Hi Heisters, apologies for the late reply, a few things to say for now. The update is ready to be released tomorrow after fixing the issues that we had. I cannot go into details on the issues as you would need many more details on our systems and how they work together and some technical background in order to have a clear picture of what happened and why. One thing worth mentioning is that comparing games that use different software is not helpful in drawing results, and I want to say that Mogal is doing a good job in trying to explain things from a player's perspective. I am not going to correct or confirm what he wrote, but my point is that it is helpful to consider that there are many different parameters that shape the outcome, rather than to try and compare products and situations in one dimension only. The content of this update is mainly Duke, Alaskan Deal, Cursed Room, and Safe House Nightmare. Also, a first iteration on the PS4 voice chat and some minor features, /fixes, /balance changes. The reason we do not reveal the exact details of the content update, remember I'm referring to consoles only, is that until we are ready to release, the update is subject to change based on the feedback from testing. We could tell you what is likely to go in, but for the time being, we would rather share information that is not likely to change. We know this has not always been the case. For example, we talked about the previous version of this patch but changed it, but our goal is to share as much information as possible, but at the same time, trying to only share information that will not change. In any case, it is not hard to see what is coming based on the PC updates, and some of you have done so quite successfully in the past. That is it for now. Hope you enjoy the new content coming tomorrow, and you overload that offshore account of yours, but maybe make sure there is some space for a few coins in case it's needed. Goris." Now, as you've no doubt seen and heard with me reading out, there is a lot to talk about in this post. There's plenty of things to break down, to digest, and to discuss, so we're going to get into that, but I'm going to go through from start to finish and go through everything in order, so there's a bit of a structure to the video, and it's not really a jumbled mess of just going through random points. To start with, let's look at the first of the two big paragraphs in Goris' Steam post. Now, the origin of what he's talking about here is an attitude that's been shown by a number of console players, either in the Steam thread, on Twitter with their Twitter account, on my comment section I've seen it a few times, and anywhere else basically where you can get in touch with Overkill, this has been said, which is that there have been comparisons drawn for Overkill and the way they handle the development process of Payday 2 on console, and then comparing that to other developers, other publishers, indie or AAA, or anywhere in between, for their console games which have also been released on PC, and basically saying that Overkill are not being as effective, as efficient, anywhere along those lines, compared to other developers with their console versions. Now, what I've said to comments is pretty much exactly what Goris has said here, which is that it's not so easy to compare the console and PC versions because the whole way the system works with this game is very different to PC. I won't go into too many details here because that's not what this video is about. It's not about their struggle with development process, but what I will recommend is that Goris mentioned Mogul in this little post, and his post is directly above Goris's in the Steam thread. So I'll link the Steam thread in the description. Go check it out and have a look at what Mogul had to say. It's a very interesting read, but basically to sum it up in a sentence or so, it's that the way Payday 2 has been working on consoles with how masks drop, how you earn weapons compared to PC, how achievements don't unlock attachments, you just get them anyway in card drops. There's some very, very key differences, and that leads to the issues that Overkill have had, and you know, it makes it a bit easier to explain why console and the PC versions are completely different for Payday 2. That's as far as I'll go. Feel free to go read that post and give Mogul a bit of attention, have a look at what he's had to say, because it is very much worth reading. But let's move on to the second paragraph, which is covering the DLC content. So the only things we have confirmed up to now are Duke, the Alaskan Deal, the Cursed Kill Room, and the Safe House Nightmare heists. So, only one character. Goris had already said that in the past, that this next update would only have one character. That's met as far as we're concerned. But only 3 heists, and one of which is one that I didn't even really think about and one I've completely forgotten about in all honesty, which is Safe House Nightmare. For those of you who don't know, that is the annual Halloween heist of Kill do for Payday 2, but this heist originated from 2013, the year the game was released, and it's been added for Halloween every single year on PC until 2017, where it was added and then kept in permanently by numerous amounts of community requests to keep it as not just a limited time item, but to actually have it right the way through the year in the Payday 2 DLC cycle. So that heist is coming to console, which is a very interesting one. It's not one that I'd even thought about or remembered, but it will be a nice, interesting heist to play. And for us, well, it's not like we have the new safe house, so it'll be in the safe house that we're all used to and that we all know and love on consoles. That was a little bit sarcastic. You'll have to bear with me on that one because I think I'm allowed the occasional joke. But the only 2 other heists that Goris has confirmed at this point are Alaskan Deal and the Cursed Kill Room. As a result, that leaves us without the Reservoir Dogs heist and the Brooklyn Bank heist, as well as the Diamond heist. 3 more heists that were released in 2017 that we don't have on consoles that aren't mentioned in this post. That basically means that out of all the remaining DLC content from 2017 that we'd expected, only 40% of the heists that we thought would be in the next update, or at least I predicted to be so, are only going to be in this update. It's not the most overwhelming thing, but as far as I'm concerned, any DLC is good DLC, especially when you've been waiting as long as we have. And I've been a firm believer of the attitude recently that we've been waiting so long, just put out what you can, let us play that, and then release the rest later. So it's something to go off. But the big news for PS4 players is that voice chat might finally be fixed nearly 3 years after the game was released. It's very good to see that they're finally getting some progress on that. They're finally being able to combat it, and hopefully the first iteration, as they've worded it, might be they've got more changes to make to perfect it, but whatever they've done, hopefully that will tread some very big ground and mean that voice chat is a lot more feasible on PS4 going forward. And then to move on to the next part of the sentence, which is that they're going to include some minor features, fixes, or balance changes. So, minor features, think about the way they talked about features in the past. So, you know, certain features such as story time on PC, or side jobs, or the fact that you can earn Continental coins, and anything along those lines like Team AI, Crime Spree, they're all features. They're not big DLC heists, they're just new ways you can play the game, new things that add elements to the game, so I put all of those under features. Fixes, anything addressing PS4 voice chat, Xbox One achievements, any other bugs riddling the game. We know that there are a few bugs on Payday 2 on console. There's probably still some that I don't even know about that you guys do, but there's plenty of things that need fixing, so that doesn't need explaining. But balance changes, this is what I want to address. There are some possible options for how they might change the balance in the game. The first big option is that they might add death sentence. They might do the whole difficulty rebalance where 1 down is no longer 1 down, it's 3 downs, and it was renamed to death sentence, and the 1 down modifier was able to be toggled on or off no matter what difficulty you picked, and you could basically have it off all the time if you wanted to, or have it on normal difficulty if you felt like you had a challenge on the easiest difficulty possible. But on the other side of the coin, it might just be that talking about the removal of specialized killing, which was the perk in the skill tree that basically increased your damage with suppressed weapons by 30%. Now, a number of people pointing this out to me. To me, I have been pretending like that skill doesn't exist now for goodness knows how many months. All my main builds you see me upload in the last few months have not used that perk because I've been basically sat expecting it's going to be removed. So for those of you who are expecting, you know, to have it for a bit longer, be prepared because it's very possible that that could be removed in tomorrow's update. But now let's talk about what's unsure about the next update. We already know that Duke, Alaskan Deal, Cursed Kill Room, and Safe House Nightmare are confirmed. Nothing is stopping those 4 from dropping. They shall launch tomorrow, regardless of whatever else happens. But let's reread what he said here. The reason we do not reveal the exact details of the content update is that until we're ready to release, the update is subject to change based on feedback from testing. Now, if we break that down and we talk a little bit more about it, what that basically means, at least from my perspective, is that there is quite a bit more to add to the update. Maybe not quite a bit, but there are certainly a few things he's not mentioned that are, as far as they're concerned, ready to drop in the game, but they have to do a little bit more testing to make sure they're ready to drop. So, for instance, it could be that, I don't know, Team AI is ready to drop, but they need to just test a few more things, and if it's fine, that comes out tomorrow as well. It could be that the Reservoir Dogs heist, they've pretty much completely put it on console, just got to test a few more things. If that's fine, they'll put it in the update. If not, leave it to the next one. Anything like that, you could say it for any feature in the game that we haven't had so far, anything that's feasible, that is, so up to the end of 2017 would be my attitude and my belief. So any of the heists that we're not getting, such as the Reservoir Dogs heist, the Diamond heist, and the Brooklyn Bank heist, the compact 40mm grenade launcher. He hasn't mentioned the World War II weapon pack, that could also be feasible. There's plenty of things here that we don't really know about and we don't have proper confirmation, but judging from what he said here, he's leaving the options open in case any of those drop. So I just want to leave everyone's minds open to that and understand that the 4 things we know that are confirmed will probably not be the only things we see. But as we all know by this point, there have been a few testing issues in the last few weeks, so it's quite possible when something's being tested tonight before the DLC launches that, there could be an issue with something. So we won't know until tomorrow, and before anyone asks, I will be doing a video tomorrow covering the exact details of what drops, so keep an eye out for that. I will be doing that, and then I'll live stream Payday 2 as soon as I can. I'll try and live stream tomorrow with the DLC, but depending on when it launches, I have got some other plans that I need to attend to tomorrow, because I wasn't expecting this, so I will try my best to get a live stream out, but if not, you understand why. Best thing to do, make sure you have notifications turned on without sounding like some big clickbait YouTuber. You know who you are out there, but if you can turn the notification bell on, you'll know if and when I decide to do a live stream. But regardless, I digress, back to the post. The rest of the second paragraph is pretty much covering what I've already said, which is that there could be other things added, but until they've done testing, we don't know for sure if they'll be added to the game. But the thing to note is the very last paragraph, the last 2 lines of his post, and in particular, what he said right at the end, which is that maybe make sure there is some space for a few coins in case it's needed. Now, if we tie that back to what he said earlier, which was that possibly a few minor features might be added, I would like to put 2 and 2 together there and say Team AI is one of the things they're definitely trying to put in the update tomorrow. Now, the fact that he said maybe a few coins means that it's not for definite, which confirms the idea that it's one of the things that's in the works. And out of Team AI and Crime Spree, that's the only thing really that could be the other possible option here. I think if you're going to call it a minor feature, you're going to go for Team AI. Crime Spree is a pretty big thing. It's a whole new game element. It's a whole new way to play Payday 2. So to see Crime Spree get added and be called a minor feature, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it to be that feasible. So my belief is that Team AI is fairly likely to drop, but if they have testing issues, be prepared because it might not drop. It's all very up in the air. We don't quite know what the situation is, but this is the information that we've got, and that's all we know up to now. Now, with all this said and done of what's coming tomorrow, what might not be coming tomorrow, what we could expect to arrive, and what we might not expect, there is one question that a few people will no doubt be asking, and it's one that I'm asking myself, and that's how have Overkill managed to drop an update and say it's coming tomorrow, even though they're still working on testing it? Because especially what I've been saying the last few weeks doesn't really match up with that, which is that Sony and Microsoft need several weeks to approve DLC before it's transferred to the consoles and released for public consumption. Now, my personal viewpoint of this up to now has been that no matter what Overkill put out, it's got to be sent off to Sony and Microsoft. They've got to spend a bit of time looking through everything, testing things, and then being able to put it out. But I've thought about it a bit more, and because this entire update is free, I failed to say that until now, but I presumed it was obvious. Because everything in this update is going to be free coming out to all the players on console, my attitude is that maybe because it's going to be termed as a patch, because it's just something we download as an online update, and then we go into the game, because it's not a paid DLC, perhaps Sony and Microsoft don't need to test it very rigorously. Overkill just go, here's an update, they have a quick look through some of the code changes and go, okay, that's fine, put it out on consoles. It might be that because they're not charging for it on their stores, that we don't have to check it as much, and hence they can just go, okay, snap your fingers, here's an update. So, I don't know, that's where I stand on it, that's what I think it might be the reasoning there, but it's very difficult to try and get any kind of analysis from that, and really it doesn't matter, we're getting the DLC, I mean, what's not to like? But it is something to note going forward that maybe with the next few updates going forward, that when the DLC is almost ready, we might not need to say, oh, it's almost ready, it'll be here in a few weeks. It'll be any day now if it's nearly ready, because it could just come out the next day, we don't know. But it just seems particularly fitting. I'd also want to note just very briefly that they're releasing this update a year to the date the Most Wanted DLC launched. I just thought that was a weird thing to point out, but I thought I'd mention it anyway because I'm weird with dates like that. But that's my attitude on why I think it's come out so succinctly and, so quickly after they've announced that they're just finishing off testing. So for those of you wondering, like myself, that's my attitude on that front. Now that pretty much sums up Goris' post. Let's do a very brief overview of everything we've talked about so we've got the key points and we know what to expect for tomorrow. So we know that in tomorrow's console update on Xbox One and PS4, we're getting Duke, the Alaskan Deal heist, the Cursed Kill Room heist, and the Safe House Nightmare heist. 2 Halloween heists, 1 lock and load heist, and 1 lock and load character. They're all confirmed, they're all being added tomorrow. With Duke, no doubt his dual wield cross kill guard pistols and the Stoic perk deck will drop. And beyond that, we might get the Grim 12 gauge shotguns that came alongside the Alaskan Deal that came out around about the same time. So it's fairly feasible we'll see that as well, but that's all we know up to this point. Potential features could be Team AI, we don't really know, but beyond that, it's all very much up in the air. Could see a difficulty rebalance, could just see the removal of specialized killing and the addition of the Graze skill in the Mastermind skill tree. Really, we're just to see what happens tomorrow. And then also for PS4 players, voice chat is going to be at least somewhat fixed. So finally, heisters on PS4 will be able to talk to one another in-game. Here's hoping. Let's hope that kicks off and hope everything works smoothly on there. But for now, that sums up all the information. So thank you guys very much for watching. As I've said, I will be dropping another video tomorrow covering what exactly was added. I'll be going through the patch notes, having a look at what I've seen in-game, and just coming up with my best overall summation of what's happened. And as I've said, I will try to live stream the DLC tomorrow, but I can't make any promises. I just can't, mainly because I don't really know what my plan is tomorrow. I'm going to be out all afternoon, so I need to try and plan things around, and I think my time is better equipped to put into a video rather than a live stream, but I will do my best. I'll see what I can do, and keep an eye on the channel, and if you see a live stream scheduled, you know something's about to go down. It might not be a big one, but at least some live stream will be better than nothing. But other than that, regardless, thank you guys very much for watching this video. As always, it's very much appreciated. Apologies again to Switch heisters who haven't seen a video yet on their platform. As I've said, still doing some research. Hopefully that video will be out next week. But other than that, thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It's always very, very much appreciated. Subscribe if you are new and you want to find out some more information about what drops tomorrow. Keep an eye on this channel. I'll put information out as soon as I know what we have. And other than that, thank you all for watching. Hope those of you enjoyed the DLC that drops tomorrow. And other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take it easy, guys.